Hello, everyone. Welcome to Defining You. If you have a trade, let's say, for example, you're a lawyer, a hairstylist, or a dentist, and you are thinking of starting your own business, this episode is for you. My guest today is Dr. Cressida Joseph, an avid business owner who recently was interviewed for an article in the Boston Globe. So here we are today. I've been looking forward to this opportunity. So welcome, Dr. Joseph. It's so nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Helena.
So let's go right into it. Why don't you briefly introduce yourself and tell the audience who you are and what you do?
So, hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Cressida Joseph, and I am the CEO of Beacon Dental Group here in Boston. I am also a proud mother of three grown, beautiful girls, and I am a wife of 34 years. Oh my, long
Ooh,
time.
wow.
And I'm
You have
also an entrepreneur, of course, and I'm a dentist. Graduated in 1992 and have been practicing with my community for 29 years.
impressive. Wow. So you are a dentist. Did you work for an organization before you decided to go on your own?
Oh,
Tell us a
yes.
little, give us a brief background about that.
So I graduated from school, dental school, and needed to work right away. We had actually had the baby, our firstborn, a day and a half after I finished my last exam and decided, I need to just go out and get a job. And
Oh,
my
wow.
husband had been working and he worked, a couple of jobs, and this was my time now. So I worked with a private dentist for a few months and finally moved on to a health center. And from that time when I went to the health center, I stayed in the health center circuit, is what I would call it, for
Mm-hmm.
about 7 years. Um, while I was doing that, I also kept in touch with a few private offices where I would do some weekend work and things like that. So yes, my initial experience was
So you had
gotten.
you had a 9 to 5.
Yes. Oh no, no, Helena. I had a 9 to 9. Had many days there were 12-hour days, but yes.
Okay, wonderful. So the reason I'm asking you this question is because I want to get into what is it? What was the defining moment that propelled you to make that big leap, to start your own business, to become your own boss? What happened?
So my husband said to me, because we had been discussing some things and certain things that we were not so happy about. We didn't have much flexibility in our scheduling, and so our lives, And so I said, he said to me, why don't you just do your own business? And then I said, that can't be any worse than what I'm doing right now. And I think it was already naturally within me because I've come from a line of people who've owned their own business.
Ah,
So it made sense. He was
mm-hmm,
behind me and we did it. And that
mm-hmm.
was 2000.
So you had a mentor, or you had people who you could look up to, and you saw that they did business and how they progressed, and that gave you some kind of courage to decide, okay, if they did it, I can do it too.
Absolutely. In
So tell us, how did you go about to set up your business? You became your own boss, and now I'm sure you are setting up your own hours, going on vacation when you want. Tell us about that.
Yes. So at first, I thank God for just faith, because I think we're faith people of faith, and I just thought, hang out your shingle and people will come, because I didn't have one patient when I started. We started from scratch. My parents afforded me a small space within their commercial building at the time, and
That helped
a
always.
portion that helps where they were renting. And we set up a 2-chair office in that building, and from there it grew. and it grew and it grew. And again, just faith. I expected it to happen. I expected good things to come out of it. I'd always been told by certain, especially let's say the male dentists that I had worked for in the past,
Mm-hmm.
that you will do really, really good working for yourself. You do really well.
Oh,
People really
wow.
like you. It's just too bad you're a woman, they would say.
Isn't that sad?
Yes, many different reasons, but I was
Mm-hmm.
not about to have that stop me.
Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
I think, talking about you had people in your life that you saw, they also created their own and set up, they became their own bosses. Can you tell us
Absolutely.
about those people and how did that impact you?
Absolutely. I'm happy to speak about that, Helena, because one of them is my great grandfather. We called him Dada, and Dada owned by the time I was born, he had owned apparently a mechanic, no, a gas station, I was told. That was not there when I was
Growing up,
born,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
but he I grew up knowing that they had several businesses. He had a store, we call it a corner store here. They had a store that did very well, and my uncle who lived across the street had his own mechanic shop. He did great work for just about everybody in the island,
Mm-hmm.
lawyers, doctors, village people. I remember
Mm-hmm.
actually that's where I first saw the Jaguar. That car, I said, I like that car. I could probably get that when I'm older. But these are people, forerunners of mine who owned businesses
Mm-hmm.
and did very well for themselves, fed their families, and had
Mm-hmm.
enough to pass on as an
Mm-hmm.
inheritance. Mhm.
So you had examples and you saw that it was possible.
Yes.
That's really good to know. So I'm going back to, not to spend too much time on dentistry, but also to understand you as a businesswoman. But I think I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what motivated you to get into dentistry.
I honestly think it's the leading of the Lord. I don't really know that I was never the type as a child to know exactly what I wanted to do. Some kids could tell you, "Oh, I always dreamed of this. I dreamed of my wedding. I dreamed of getting married." I never had those. I was not that type of a child. I literally, I feel like I'm led and I just follow. Like
Mm-hmm.
the like doors open. I just feel like this, and it presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities present themselves to me by doors just opening. So I think the first time I was um, somebody prompted me to look into medicine and dental medicine was in high school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Granted, my mother's first cousin was my dentist, but the
Mm-hmm.
first time that I was prompted to look into um, dentistry was in high school, and there was a community organization called the ABCD Health Careers program, and they had me go into hospitals and clinics and so forth just to get some experience.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I met a nurse, and she said to me, if you're going to do medicine or something like that, you might want to look into dentistry, because as a woman, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to have a family, it's a better way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just came rather naturally to me. I looked into it, I shadowed somebody, and I thought, this is really great. I like
Yeah,
this. And it just was the way.
it
The
worked
way
out.
opened for me. Yeah,
Yeah. So it seemed like you said opportunity presented itself, but opportunity didn't just present itself. You were willing and you were ready to take those opportunities. Can you
true.
talk about that for all some people that are listening and still do not know where they want to go, what they want to do? What can they learn from what you've just said?
That's a very good point. So carpe diem, seize the time, the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the position where you're ready, you've set up your foundation, then you're ready for when the opportunity does come by. So you're right. My education was in place. We had just come to this country when I was going into ninth grade, and my parents sent me to an exam school, and that school helped to equip me with a lot of sciences. We did a lot
Mm-hmm.
of sciences. So this is actually where one of my teachers said to me, "You're really good at sciences. You should do medicine."
Mm-hmm.
And that hadn't dawned on me before. I didn't even really, again, I didn't know what I was going to do, but
Mm-hmm.
of course, my parents expected me to go to college. We all expected to
Of
go to college.
course,
So
you have Caribbean parents.
yes,
That's
so
expected.
I just had to. I studied really hard. I,
Mm-hmm.
was on the dean's list or whatever. What is it in high school? It's not dean's list. But anyway, um, did well in high school and
Mm-hmm.
got scholarships from here and there to different colleges
I think
and
honor roll, just to honor
on a
roll.
roll.
Yes.
Thank you. It's been many years, Helena.
Yes.
Too many years ago. But I did well there. And so when the opportunity came by, I was ready. I had the sciences.
Mm-hmm.
I did have the mind to do it. I loved helping people. That was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people, I look out for the downtrodden, those
Mm-hmm.
people who are in the gutters, those people who need help and care. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
nurturing type of a person, helpful type of a person. And so it just made sense.
Wonderful. So opportunity presents itself, but you have to also be ready to step into it. And you sung like you were. So
Yeah.
wonderful. So you said your business, it kept growing and it kept growing.
Yeah.
Um, but before that, can you share with the audience what were some of the challenges that you experienced along the way of that journey?
So uh the the major challenge I remember facing was getting the capital that I needed, getting a good bank behind me,
Mm-hmm.
get me the money I needed to grow, because you do need money to grow. To expand, you have to have money.
Certainly.
And it was difficult. It really was a challenge. And what should have taken me, what eventually I should say took me 2 weeks to get it, at first took me about 5 months. This one program that supposedly they're good to help dentists,
Mm-hmm.
but they had me rewrite and write my business plan and go
Business
over
plan.
and do this and do that. It took way too long. And finally, again, opportunity presented itself.
Mm-hmm.
Doors open. I walked into a meeting one day, and a man said to me, "Oh, I'm your representative for your area. And we loan to dentists." I said, "Are you
Mm-hmm.
kidding me?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm over the Eggleston area." He said, "Here's my card." I called him up, and I don't think it was even 3 weeks later, I
Mm-hmm.
had the funding that I needed to expand my business. But that was one of the main um, roadblocks that I found happened to me, and it happened over and over, because every time I got to the place where it was time now to move to the
Move
next
to the
level,
next step. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was the same issue,
Mm-hmm.
until finally, thank God, recently hasn't been it's been better, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 20 years of the same old, it really gets discouraging,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
So
Um,
how do you overcome? What lessons can we learn from your challenges? How, for somebody like you who've experienced it, what lessons can you share with the audience? Because you are moving forward and you are doing well and your business is growing. So something is happening positive. So
yeah.
what is it that people who are thinking, I'd like to start my own business, but I'm not sure I can do it. What can you share to the audience to, give them some hope that it's possible?
Mhm. So, what helped me, especially when we were smaller, was learning to rely on oneself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some money somewhere, like
Mm-hmm.
some savings to fall back on just in case, while you seek out these different areas of funding. You need to
Mm-hmm.
have something. You need to have parents behind you, like mine, or relatives
Yes.
who would
Mm-hmm.
say, "Listen, I could loan you $40,000 or whatever, just
Mm-hmm.
in case you needed it." And you have to have a good reputation, a
I
good
was
name.
that's exactly what I was about to ask, because your family could have the money, but if
Yes,
you are not responsible, because I know you
yes,
are, and
yes,
what I should probably say right now, injecting here, full
yes,
disclosure, I know Dr. Joseph. Dr. Joseph is actually my sister-in-law, so I know you're very
yes,
responsible. So
yes.
I can clearly see your parents
Mm,
willingly, loaning you money because they know that you are responsible enough, and that you are
yeah,
going to do well.
yes. So that helps is to be able to rely on yourself and to rely on others, have a good reputation. Make sure if you what you say is what you do. If
Right.
you say you borrow $10, I'm getting it back to you tomorrow, you get it back tomorrow. And also to have a community around you who believes in
Mm-hmm.
your dream,
Right.
who believes in what you're doing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you may have friends that or people, associates who they don't really believe in your dream. They're sort of envious and they don't want you to really go anywhere. So you have to be
Mm-hmm.
careful who these people are. Make sure you're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that always brings almost tears to my eyes was when I had gone to a very wealthy dentist to get a loan when I guess again I was having trouble with the banks,
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't help me. Now I didn't even blame him because it's his money. He could do
Mm-hmm.
whatever he wants. But guess what? My assistant, that time I was in the Codman Square Health Center, my assistant saw my vision
Mm-hmm.
and she got me. She said to me, Dr. Joseph, I can loan you some money. My assistant, my assistant.
You
I
never
was
know where God is
floored.
going to reach
You
to. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. You never know. And
Right.
again, if you have a good reputation and they can
Mm-hmm.
see your vision, you're passionate about what
Your
you are doing.
assistant?
My assistant, my assistant, she had some money saved and she said, I will loan you that money. And we
Wow.
wrote, we didn't even go to an attorney or anything, wrote out a note. I
Mm-hmm.
signed it. And just like I said, I would pay it back to her, is what I did.
Oh
And
my
we're still friends
goodness.
today. But the point is, have people in your circles who can do these kinds of things for you in case you need somebody to tide you over until you get to a place where you can now present yourself to a bank, or when things change and things are maybe easier. And the other thing I need to say is protect your credit. It's important for your
Oh,
credit
that's
to be
that's a big
protected.
one.
Yes, I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't understand. I still don't understand. 20 years, and my business, a business does not stand on its own as far as credit. My
Mm-hmm.
business has good credit, but
Right.
the fact is they rely on my personal credit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have to protect your credit. Um, Try your best to watch it like a hawk, do what's right, pay back on time every
Mm-hmm.
single bill. So these are the kinds of things. And believe in your dream. Believe in your dream. Have passion for what you're doing. Listen, I had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I loved what I was doing. I loved meeting the patients. The patients, a lot of them are just amazing people. I especially love the little ones. I call them my little people. I think they are so beautiful, full of potential, and they're just bubbling from inside. And I
Mm-hmm.
just want to pour all I can into those little ones, especially.
Yeah, I actually went to Beacon Dental's website and I check out your reviews, and your reviews are so the patients as I mean they talk about the experience at Beacon Dental, and some of them have been going there for many years, and their children are now going there. So clearly, the service that you're providing, and people are appreciating what you're doing. What can you tell us about some of the services that you're providing to your community?
Wonderful, sure. So, what we do, first of all, we provide service with a smile. We provide service which we treat our patients like we would like to be treated. We treat
Exactly.
them with dignity and respect.
That's
That's very
important.
important. Yeah, it's very important. And I take a lot of my lessons from going to other businesses and seeing how things are done. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember all along the way, as I worked even with other dentists and health centers and so forth, I remember collecting a list of things that I always said, I don't want to do that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be like that. I don't want to do that. Here's where I think I can improve that. And once I opened my business, my true personality and character now I was able to bring that into every
Mm-hmm.
aspect of my business, the
Mm-hmm.
physical arrangement of the office, the treatment of the patients, the training of my staff,
Mm-hmm.
everything. These are things I've always thought made sense. It's like train your
Mm-hmm.
staff, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure they treat people well. So we do a lot of, basically I'm a general dentist, but I do everything, and we have every service just about in dentistry that you need. We have root canals, we have gum surgeries, implants, we have, every type of cleaning, deep
Mm-hmm.
cleanings, we have whitening of teeth, we have braces as well, including Invisalign,
Mm-hmm.
and just about everything you need, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Extractions and so forth, wisdom teeth extractions and so forth.
Well, I can testify to the fact that Beacon Dental is an excellent place to go. I am one of your, do you say patients, clients?
Yes, patience.
I am one of your patients and I've been going there for a long time. And I am one of those people, I'm very scared of needles, and you always help me to calm me down.
Yes,
So
that's important.
yes, so
Yeah.
that's why one of the reasons I go there, because I don't want to go to a place where I'm feeling like I can't, I'm not being catered to, and you do that
Yes,
very well. So thank you so
that's
much for
very
that.
important. Thank you.
Yes. And so what I want to say right now is, what are you talk about training, and that's very important, and sometimes people have businesses and there's so much going on, there's so many different things that you have to be responsible for as a business owner, and sometimes you miss some of those things. So to hear you talk about training and looking at what other organizations are doing, and when you see how they are doing it and you say, I don't want this to be in my business, how do you, I mean, based on all the different things that you have to get going for the business, how do you have that presence of mind to say, you know what, let's see how we can remain sustainable by doing what is right, and just looking at simple things that we can do to make this a good environment, a good business where people want to come to. Where do you get that from? Because I know you studied a long time ago, but not many people think of those little things that make a big difference.
Right. So some of it came from within me, Helena. Again, I said I would treat people how I want to be treated.
Okay,
So,
that makes
and I
sense.
like for people to,
Mm-hmm.
be kind to
Mm-hmm.
me, not want to hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
um, be truthful, have integrity, those kinds of things. So those
Mm-hmm.
came from inside of me, and I just made sure that I started to. We had weekly meetings with our staff, and we would talk about things like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
after about 5, 6 years of building the business, the first time around from the beginning and in the initial stages, I recognized that I needed help because we were not taught the business side in dental school. We were not taught the business side at all, not even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I needed help. And I realized that we had the potential to grow really um, well, rapidly
Mm-hmm.
if I got that help. So
Yes.
something came in the mail and I thought, wow, again, doors opened. Something came in the mail and it just hit me in my spirit. This is what we need. We need somebody to come in, a consulting um, outfit that would come in and help train us, help guide us as far as the business. And
Mm-hmm.
these people, um, they are mostly for dental offices.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're specifically for dental offices. So I called them up, and that was the beginning of some serious major changes. It
Mm-hmm.
really helped me to train my team well. I had somebody to be accountable to, and I really did grow by
Oh
leaps and
man.
bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we still continue that today. A different company, but I still have consultants, which you might want to call even like a coach, like a
Mm-hmm.
business coach. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Wonderful. So you are doing things to make your business sustainable and to
Yeah.
grow and move it to the next level, because and
Yeah.
also I know that your business is also expanding,
Mhm.
and can you talk about that, and what's next for Beacon Dental? Where do you see Beacon Dental going?
Yes, ma'am. So just to step back just a minute, just for a
Mm-hmm.
second. People I remember discouraged me when I first saw that mailing, and because of the cost.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it probably was like $25,000
Mm-hmm. The
to buy that program.
consultancy,
Sorry?
the consultant that you
Yes.
invest. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
$25,000 that time. We were still part-time. We were still two chairs. And they were like, "Are you crazy? That's a lot of money." But I figure if you don't spend on your business to grow your business, you won't grow as well. You
Mm-hmm.
may grow inch by inch, and I didn't have that kind of time.
Right. I know you're a businesswoman.
Just go, let's get it done. Because I felt it in my, I felt it. I'm
Mhm,
like, this can do, we have potential.
mhm,
And so we need to just really scale this up.
mhm,
So the next thing we did was we scaled up to 5 chairs.
mhm,
And then after that, we scaled up to 7 chairs in a brand new, we built out the space. So it was a brand new office, let's say. And now we're adding our orthodontic space, which is going to be separate from the general dentist
mhm,
space.
mhm,
So it just attached is attached to the to our office, so it's in the
mhm,
same building.
mhm,
But now we have a 4 chair orthodontic clinic that
mhm,
should be coming online like somewhere around the middle of January or end of
mhm.
January.
Oh, pretty
This is a
soon.
space specifically for the orthodontists to do their
Mhm.
braces and then Invisalign and whatever else they need to do.
So what kind of patients do you serve, and are you open to anyone?
So, yes, we treat everyone and we do have a way of working with any type of insurance and so forth.
Mhm,
So, the only thing now I realize this is the cry of every industry under the sun since COVID is that
mhm,
everybody is looking for workers,
mhm,
and we are in the same boat.
mhm,
We have had to ramp up what we're doing to get more um, clinicians because we are
mhm,
in dire need of a hygienist right away,
mhm,
as well as an associate dentist.
mhm.
And so once that's we get those on board, now we will even now ramp up our marketing too
Mhm. Mhm.
to
That's
really
important.
draw
Yes.
more people
Mhm.
because we are doing it right now, but it's
Mhm.
we we need more workers.
Right. So tell for the audience, for those who want to know, who want to probably come by and maybe become a new patients of yours, tell us about your business, where you're located, and how people can reach you.
Okay. So Beacon Dental Group, we are located at 1026 Blue Hill Avenue in Dorchester. That's on Blue Hill Ave in Dorchester. 617-282-2146. And you can reach us at beacondentalgroup.com,
Wonderful.
at yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm.
And or if you want to email, or .com if you'd like to just check out our website
Mm-hmm.
and see all that we offer. It's there for you. We would really welcome, even at one point we could not welcome walk-ins, but if you're coming, if you're in the neighborhood and you just like to stop in for even a tour or something, you give us a call when you get to the door and we're happy to do that as
Mm-hmm.
well. If
I
you feel like
actually
you would, yeah.
remember meeting one of your patients, and she went for the first time, and she said, oh, I go to Beacon Dental, and she said I was so impressed. They gave me a tour, and she's also African American, and she said it is so nice to see an African American business owner and how well they're doing and really taking the time to take care of the patients and the time that they invested in taking care of patients. So people are talking about Beacon Dental, and I just want to congratulate you on, going forward. And I you throughout our conversation, you were talking about faith. Can you, do you want to tell us something about that faith and what that means to you?
Oh, absolutely. That's the foundation of my whole life. That's my life strategy is faith in God. I believe in God. He has directed me all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And before I became a dentist, a mother, a wife, I was a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
I accepted Jesus when I was a little girl. And I just feel like he's been with me throughout my entire life up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's purpose. Each one of us has a purpose to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like God guides me as to what I am here on earth to do,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm here to do to help to move humanity forward. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to always be sensitive to what he's saying to me and
Mm-hmm.
how he's leading and guiding me. And again, when doors open, I know that's a way that God helps to lead and
It's
guide me to
showing
move
you, yes.
life.
Wonderful. So before we go, I want to talk about, you have a daughter. Your middle daughter is also following in your footsteps.
Yeah.
Um, is there any plans to transition? Your daughter will take over, and then your husband also works with you, which is also my brother. It's
Yes,
like a real family
it
oriented environment. So tell us
it
about
is.
your daughter and how she got into that same field like you.
It's very interesting because for the longest time she wasn't sure what she was going to do. We've always encouraged them to do what is natural, what comes natural. But I must say, I have encouraged them to consider the dental fields because,
Hmm.
again, it's the ground has already been set for them. The foundation has been laid. It's just a matter of walking in and taking over.
Taking over, yeah.
And so when Atira decided that she wanted to go to dental school, which she's at my alma mater, Tufts, the best dental school ever. I was so excited, and I was so excited. And yes, so she's a part of my succession plan for Beacon Dental Group.
Hmm.
My plans are now for me to. I had considered getting a second office, but again, due to COVID and everything, I'm going to pause on that for a little while, just
Hmm.
really concentrate
Reevaluate.
on the
Hmm.
ortho side and
Hmm.
concentrate on getting her in and getting her trained up and then moving over into the CEO side of things. That's exactly where
Hmm.
I want to be. I want to be
Hmm.
a CEO in the next maybe by 4 or 5 years, be more CEO than clinical dentist. So
Hmm.
that's the plan, as well as my other two girls also work on the business side of the business
It's
too.
a family affair.
My heart glad. I feel so blessed to have them with me, and they're excellent at it.
Wonderful. What is one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
I'm terrified of mice and rats.
Yes, that's true.
Terrified. I am terrified. Like you could probably get everything I have in my pocketbook by presenting a rat. I mean, that's one thing. That's a funny thing. But let's see what else.
Oh my goodness, that is true. I remember that.
Yes, I am. But believe it or not, I mean, I once struggled with with even like anxiety.
Mhm.
Uh, I once struggled with it and worry and fear. And that's something that I had to deal with
Mhm.
um, and get help with,
Mhm.
get a counselor, and make sure I got things under control. Because, as you can tell, life is tough. Everybody
Mhm.
has a lot to deal with. But if you're constantly under pressure, it's not good for your heart. It's not good for your system. High
Mhm.
blood pressure, all these things happen, heart attacks and so forth. I was not interested in that. So I
Mhm.
just had to make sure I took care of that. Now I must say I am
In a better place.
in a much, much better place.
Mhm.
Like I would not consider myself right now a
Mhm.
warrior or someone who's anxiety ridden anymore.
Mhm. What do you think? What do you think contributed to you having those anxieties?
I think it's just again me.
Mhm.
I think naturally, I think I was just I have an anxious core.
Mhm.
Some people are born that way, you just
Yes.
have this anxious core. And I was type sort of a worrier. And I was the first child, firstborn,
Oh.
probably in charge of everything. I felt like
Mhm.
I had to be, make sure everything is right, everything is going right, everybody's good.
Mhm.
So I think that just exacerbated it. But I I know for a fact. Plus, too, I think it comes down the in your genes too,
Mhm.
because I do know we have others in our family. Yeah,
Right.
grandparents and whatnot who were that type too. They were
But,
anxious
but
people.
but you know the good thing
Very.
about this whole thing is that you dealt with it and it's under control. And so, Dr. Joseph, just before we go, any final words that you want to share with our audience?
Yes, come on over and see me. We are open to new patients. We're open to taking care of you and your family. We would love to have you visit us at Beacon Dental Group. And compliments of the season. This is Christmas time. I love it. I say happy Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family. And God bless you in every desire that you have, every dream that you have to make your life a better life. I wish you the best in it. Just believe in yourself, believe in your dream, work hard, work hard, have your village around you, people who are in your corner that would help you aspire to those things that you look to and that you want, and don't let it go. And so I encourage you to do that. You don't have to be perfect to have all you want. I'm not perfect. Helena, you're not perfect,
Oh,
right?
far from it.
We're, we're not perfect. We had things we had to fix. I had
Oh
things I had
yes,
to fix
still
to
have
make
things I have to
better.
fix. It's a constant process. You can have to work at it every single day. So yes,
Absolutely.
this was really good. You know what, Dr. Joseph? Thank you
Yeah,
so much. This was well worth the wait.
thank
And
you.
I think we'll have to come back and talk about that longevity in marriage. I want to hear
Okay.
about that and I want to know what the secret is. I'm sure the audience would love to get some tips from you. So, again, I want
Okay.
to thank you for this time and I wish you all the best with Beacon Dental. And thank you for serving the community for so many years. It was such a joy talking to you today. Thank you.
My pleasure, Helena.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.